Welcome back to the Revive podcast, everybody. Today we're here with Zeb from Brass Tongue. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Thank you for having me.
Could you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you do?
Man, I'm a Greenville, South Carolina native. Uh, I'm a grocer. I work at Trader Joe's right now, and I play rock music, man.
Perfect. I actually work in the grocery department as well.
Right on. You said Publix, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's
So,
go.
yes, sir. Well, I'm gonna get into this, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. You ready to do this?
Let's go.
Do it, bro. All right. I'm gonna ask you first where you met everybody and what made you want to start a band with them all.
I've known all the guys in the band for several years, actually. I met Tyler, our guitar player, like 15 some odd, 17 some odd years ago, like
Yeah.
just being a young buck going to hardcore shows. Same with our bass player Justin and Brett, actually, because our scene was pretty small back then. So you kind of knew everybody once you got in it.
Yeah. I know what you mean. So, how'd you guys come up with the name Brass Tongue?
That was actually my little brother. He played guitar for us whenever we first started. Uh, and we were just trying to find a name that made sense. It was cool that we hadn't heard before. And
Yeah.
he came into practice like, yo, I've got it. Brass tongue. And we were like, dang, that's it. That's it right there.
Really?
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
just you all wanted that after he
Yeah,
had said it, you all settled on it?
yeah. I wanted to call it Final Reason at first. And everyone's like,
Okay.
dog, that's corny. That's mad corny. We're not calling
I
it
like
that.
that. That sounds pretty good.
Well, that's the name of your next band. There you go.
Thank praise be. Who would you say is your biggest musical influence for all you
Oh man.
guys?
For all of us, out of the gate, the mighty Advent. Like, if you're a Carolina hardcore head,
Yes, sir.
like and you don't like Advent, I don't know what to tell you. Because
Yes,
that was
sir.
the only like band really putting on for the Carolinas for like 10 years.
Yeah. I love me some Advent, dude. Great band.
Yeah.
So I see you've got a lot of tattoos.
Let's go.
If you had to choose a favorite, what would it be?
Uh I've got a Bad Brains like kind of inspired piece on my back, which I
Yep.
love because I love Bad Brains. I would probably say that one. Honestly, I
Okay.
love that piece.
Yeah.
You had I had to sit through that one and earn that one. That one was terrible.
How long did that take?
We're still working on it, man. Right now, I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
I don't know, I'm probably like 10, 13 hours in, something like that.
Oh my gosh. What about the other boys? You know how many they have a lot as well?
Yeah, everybody in the band's really tattooed. I think Brett's the most tattooed out of everybody.
Mhm.
He's covered,
Really?
like butt cheeks and all, man. He's got them all. You'll see them cheeks someday, man. I swear. It'll just be pop, butt cheeks out.
um, what do your family members think of the band?
Uh,
They like it
um,
or maybe not so much or
it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag.
yeah,
Some of them are like, what are y'all saying? What are y'all talking about?
yeah.
Man, like they don't really get it. And then some of them are super supportive, always showing love, trying to like. I don't think any of my family members have come out to a show actually, which is,
Really?
but yeah,
Are they
my mom's
Southern?
kind of, yeah, they're mad
So
Southern. I grew up
okay.
I was born on a farm out in, not born on a farm. I was raised on a farm out in 6 Mile, South Carolina,
Okay.
and just had like a lot of siblings and stuff, and they're all
Yeah.
pretty Southern,
Yeah.
very Southern.
They listen to the music at all?
Um, some do, like my cousins,
Yeah.
my sister. Actually, my little sister's probably like my biggest supporter. Like she's
Oh, good, dude.
always about it, always like listening to it, always telling people what her brother's doing and stuff like that. So
I
shout
wish
out
my
Jacqueline, I love
sister
you.
yeah. I wish my sister was like that with this.
Oh man,
She
yeah.
could care
Well, I
less.
got mad respect for you. I got mad respect for you doing this.
Appreciate it, man. Who you said Advent is your biggest inspiration
I
and
would say
influence?
one of the biggest for sure. I'm
Who
definitely into
yeah.
like I got a wide range of things that I like.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah, I hope so. It keeps me from being stale and stagnant.
Now, which would you say is your favorite hardcore punk rock band? I'll give you a minute.
Man,
Think about it.
yeah. Favorite hardcore band? Man, dog, like OG hardcore, gonna be Bad Brains.
Okay.
I I love the Bad Brains. Newer stuff is probably gonna be, TUI. That band, TUI, Have Heart. Um, man, of course I would have a laundry list if I didn't just get asked that. But yeah, there's a lot of bands.
It's hard to think off the dome. I know what you mean.
It is, man. Just saw a band in Baltimore that I love. They're called Doubt.
Oh, this is a
Little girl.
Baltimore band right here. End It.
Oh, yo, I almost wore an Andy shirt today. There we go.
Really? I love
Yeah,
End It,
yeah.
dude. Great band.
They just got like the right attitude. You can tell they're really from the struggle. They're not just like a bunch of like
Yeah,
suburban kids pretending that they had it hard. Like they really had to get out of it.
dude.
So
I love that band so much, man. So I've got a question for you. Um,
yeah, yeah.
Out of all the hardcore band shirts I've seen, I thought it would have been Stretch Armstrong that I've seen the most, but it's actually your band. I have seen the most shirts I've seen from the same band
Oh,
would be Brass Tongue. Do you
I'll take
do you
that.
have any ideas as to why that is?
Probably because I make them myself and I make a lot of different ones. I print them in my
Okay.
back room in my house, and I just like we're fully DIY.
Yeah.
So like that's probably why, just because we be making a ton of them.
Yeah. But
I don't know, man.
on the
I didn't know that. That's wild.
yeah, the second episode I did with Paul and Anthony from Rat Poison. Anthony had a Brass Tongue shirt on. When I did one with Preston, he had a Brass Tongue shirt on. So it's just like, and I've seen him. I see him at New Brooklyn Tavern a lot. I've seen him at the Senate. I've seen him everywhere.
Bro, that's sick. That's really cool to hear. That's really
Yeah,
cool to
man.
hear.
Have you
Is there is,
guys? Yeah,
is it a specific one that you see the most, or is it just like a
it's
lot of different ones?
the one off of the Stare into Hell cover art. Like it just says Brass Tongue, and it's got like, it looks like a bunch of spikes coming off of it.
All right,
You know what
yeah,
I'm talking
that
about?
splatter one, that
Yeah,
splatter
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. The splatter. That I see. It's just a white shirt with the black lettering. I see that one the most.
Oh, sick, sick. Yeah,
That's
that's the
your
one with the burning
yeah.
cop car on it.
I think so. I'm trying to think if there were any others, but that's like, I've just seen Brass Tongue everywhere. And
That's
so I was
sick.
like,
That's sick.
I have to bring that up. Have you guys talked about going full time yet? Being a full time
We're
band or
we're doing everything we can to do that. We
yeah.
after this tour, we got home and we're already planning a spring run and
Yeah.
a winter run actually. So like there's a lot in the works to keep pushing it as much as we can.
Mhm.
Like I mean, as long as there's gas in the tank, we're gonna run it, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys just finished your East Coast tour, right?
Yeah.
On Wednesday, July 5th with Fixed View. Which one of those
Yeah.
shows was your favorite? Which
Um
venue?
Holy Frijoles in Baltimore was
I,
amazing. They
I saw
treated us
those.
super well.
I saw that one you did the other night. Well, actually, last on Wednesday. That one, that
Yeah.
venue looked really nice. Was that
Yeah.
Greenville?
Yeah. I would say between the Baltimore and the Greenville shows, those were definitely the
Yeah, man.
most fun and like the most crowd interaction we got, which I'm all about.
Really, dude. That's great. A lot of mosh pitting, a lot of
Yeah, a
kicking
lot
and
of
swinging.
pitting. I like pitting. I love stage diving. I like people just dancing. Like, I mean, the heavy-handed, like, wild and out stuff is sick. I'm all for that. But I also just like people to be dancing and have a good time and like just enjoy themselves, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if you're getting the crowd to move, you're doing something right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. If they're
But
moving, I'm moving.
yeah, I've tried to every time I go to a show, it's normally New Brooklyn Tavern or the Senate. Um,
Yeah.
I always want to be in that pit, but it's just so crazy because most of those people are drunk.
That, yeah, that's
And
something I'm not
I
a
just
fan
don't
of.
I don't want to get punched. Like I've always there's just that one thing holding me back. I've stage
I
dived
feel that.
before. I stage dive at the Senate when my dad was on, and at Furnace Fest as well.
Oh, man.
And
All right.
the first time at the Senate, I went really high and it was great. And then at Furnace Fest, I think everyone was prepared for it, so they knew to move out of the way.
Mm-mm.
So
So
a
there's a
couple
method I
people,
go for.
yeah,
All right. I don't do the full the dive out. I do like the somersault. I'll find somebody that's like my buoy. I'm like, I'm gonna find you. I'm just gonna wrap you up, and you're gonna hold me up.
Oh, really? See, I
Yeah,
don't want to do a somersault. I go on my I jump forward and go on my back. So they catch my
yeah,
back. And
yeah.
everyone just moved out of the way and I probably landed on maybe 3 people and just fell on the ground. And I remember like I was under someone and Ben Walker,
Mm,
shout out Ben Walker, he like grabbed under my arms and just like lifted me up and and it was so difficult to do it and I hurt my ankle so bad. But
man.
I was like I did it for the culture, you know.
Yeah, yes. It's a pay to play thing, you know.
Yes, sir. So I've got 2 songs that I'd like for you to break down and some lyrics in those songs. Does that go with you?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. So the first one we've got "Kissed by the Fire." Um,
Right on.
the lyrics I wrote down for that are "Lord ain't called me home, built to survive, foster homes, abuse, addiction, reinforce the pain. Old cold nights still cut like a knife, never gonna feel the same." Could you tell me a little bit about those, what that means, where that comes from?
Yeah. That song, that song is pretty heavy for me. I wrote
Yeah.
that song after like a lot of therapy. So when I was young, I was like 3. My I was taken away from my mom. My mom went to prison. Her boyfriend at the time was really abusive and directed at she and I.
Mhm.
And he gave me third-degree burns from my waist down.
Mm.
And so that's where "Kissed by the Fire" comes from. Because
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. Uh, but it's just about like my time in foster care and reflecting on that and how like how that impacted my viewpoint on the world and things like that. And
Yeah.
like it never really goes away, man. Like
Mhm.
you learn to get through it and stuff like that. But
100%.
it's there's a lot of reminders of that around a lot of times, and sometimes you got to write a song about it to get out of your head.
Yeah, man. How the boys feel about that? Do you guys perform that song
Oh yeah,
all the time?
that's one of people's favorite songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they really like that one.
What's your
And I
favorite?
had a kid. Say again.
What's your favorite?
My favorite song is probably Big Bounce and Kissed by the
Okay.
Fire.
Okay.
I've had a lot of kids who were in CPS or DSS custody
Mhm.
come up to me and talk to me about how that really touched on their own experiences and kind of helped them, be in the right
Yeah.
mindset whenever they get reminded of things like that.
Yeah,
So
man.
it means a lot to me.
Mhm. How do the boys feel about that song? They like playing it too?
Uh, they like playing it a lot. The first time they heard it, they were like, "This is really tough." And then I like told them what it was about, and they're like, "Man, I think I'm gonna cry."
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, we
Oh,
had a little sob
those are
sesh
good.
together
Those are
about it.
real friends, dude.
Yeah, man. If you can't cry together, you can't do nothing together.
Those are the homies forever, man. All right,
That's it.
I'm gonna move on to Big Bounce.
All right. Big
Um,
bounce is the opposite end of the spectrum.
yeah. Uh, I wrote down like a bomb short fuse. I'm going off like a drug in my brain. I need some more. When I feel it, can't stop, lose control. I lose control. Something wild in me is trying to get out. Gonna need a set of nails to hold me down.
Yeah, man. It's like even given like the hardships that I had to like get through and overcome,
Yeah,
like being a youth, I still I still try very hard to be positive and to enjoy my life and not like dwell on the negative things that have happened. And I just got a lot of energy and I got a lot of things in me that's like sometimes I just got to move about it. I got to dance about it. I gotta be wild about it, and like that's
yeah,
always in me trying to find a way to like express the good side and not the bad side. And that's what Big Bounce is just
yeah.
trying to like just feeding on the good energy.
Awesome, dude. I've got a lot of extra info on you guys. So
Oh no, here we
I
go.
so Tyler, if Tyler was here, he used to play in a band called Brigades.
Yes, he did. It
How long ago was that?
was some like 8, 10 years ago, something like that.
Okay. And how long was he in there for?
He was in there for a minute, a couple years. They did like some full US tours. They were on Pure Noise. They did a
Okay.
lot of stuff. That band did a lot popping. Like really got out there. It was kind of one of the staples of South Carolina for a little bit.
Okay, yeah. How many tours have you guys been on as Brass
Us,
Tongue?
me, as Brass Tongue, we've been on 2 tours. We did a short little 4-day run up to Chicago to play the Mexican Independence Day Festival in
Mhm.
Pilsen, and then we just did this one now, like the
Yeah.
East Coast run.
You guys have been a band for a minute too, right?
1 year,
Okay.
1 year. Our first show was like a year ago, last week, I think. Was Shackled and in Sage's garage. It was a 24-hour notice show that we just were like, "Yo, let's play it. Let's
Yeah.
go."
Have you been in previous bands, or was that your first? Oh no,
Yeah,
actually,
I've
you
been,
have
I've
you
been in the
have you have been in
band.
a
I've
couple.
been in the band.
Um, Justin, who plays bass now, he played drums in a band in Greenville called Apart, which used to be called Miles Apart. Do you know
Yep.
anything really about that?
Yeah, those boys were they were really on that like Touche Amore, kind of like a lot of Spew Tip.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of that stuff, or like kind of not Scrams Revival, but kind of like that.
Mhm.
All those guys are my homies. Half those dudes, I think, well, Randall, who played guitar in that band, plays guitar in Reviler now.
Yeah.
Um, Lucas plays baseball and writes and stuff up in North Carolina now.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know where Steven is. I hadn't seen Steven in a long time.
Yeah.
Um, man, who else is in that band? I think that might have been it.
Yeah. But does he still play drums, or is he
Oh,
just strictly
Justin can play
bass?
anything. Justin can play
Really?
anything. If you give him 2 days, he'll figure out how to play it. I guarantee.
Oh my gosh. I've been I've been
Yeah.
I'm a drummer myself. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can see it a little
Uh,
bit.
oh yeah, I see the kid. I see the kid.
Sure. So I've been drumming for 8 years now, I think. I'm not as good as you guys, but
Ah man, as long as you hitting them tubs, man, you as good as us.
I can do the good hardcore flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. The classic hardcore beat. Brett, he is the drummer for you guys now. He went to
Mhm.
Lexington High School, and
Yeah, I think your dad actually used to teach him.
really,
Yeah,
I didn't know that. And he played
yeah,
in a lot of death metal bands over the years as well. Do you know anything about
yeah.
those?
Oh yeah, he's played in so many bands. He used to play in Worm, and then when they disbanded, of course, Slug Crust became a band. I don't know if you listen to Slug Crust, but they're a fantastic grind band.
Heard of them?
Well, give those guys a listen because they're definitely
Yeah,
worth spending the ear to.
I
And
will.
he's just probably one of the most versatile drummers I've ever heard. And he's so fun to watch play. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, man. So last but not least, I got you, and you guys go by the name Brass Tongue, but I know you
Yeah,
specifically go by the name Zebulon.
yeah,
You're a what I said of it to be a lo-fi slash like old style hip hop. Could you tell me what made
yeah.
you want to do that?
I just love hip hop. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan of hip hop. Anything funky. Hang on, my dogs just got out.
you're good.
I'm gonna have to take him outside.
It's okay. My wife says hello.
Hey, hey,
Hi.
how are you?
So good. Hey.
Um, I just love hip hop. Big
Yeah,
fan. Hang on, I'll answer this when the dogs get outside, and then they'll come back in.
I'll post it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Coming in. Yeah, I'm in a like a cypher hip hop group called Neighborhood Shares with my friends Eli Colburn and Scotty Rock, and we actually just dropped a new EP today of like all our vaulted B sides and stuff.
okay.
Shout out the boy.
Shout out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I love anything that's different and fresh. That makes me feel something I haven't felt before.
Who's your favorite? Like hip hop, rap, all that.
Ooh, ooh.
You got like
Um,
one in mind off the top of your head?
man, I'm a big fan of Big Pun. Love Big Pun.
Okay.
I love Young Lean, which is like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if you know
yeah.
who Young Lean is, you already know. You already know.
Yeah, man.
Um,
I got a friend who loves Young Lean.
shout out. That's sick.
Yes, sir.
Um, man, I love DJ Screw. Anything screwed up click, like
Mhm.
put out. I love chopped and screwed stuff. Zero. De Niro Ferrara. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I love rap.
Yeah, man. So you were in a band in high school called Loather
That
with
was actually college.
college.
Uh,
Okay. With
yeah,
Mike
yeah, yeah.
Fuller from Your Spirit Dies, who actually opened up at the Senate when we Stretch Armstrong played back in April. Could
Hmm.
you
And
tell me
Justin
about
was in
that?
that band too.
Who was? Oh, Justin was? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Could you tell me about that one?
yeah, man. So during during college, like my sophomore year, I wound up being homeless, living in my van for a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's when I came to Greenville and started hanging out a lot. And I started hanging out at this punk squat house, and I my first real introduction to power violence. And I was like, "Yo, I would love to do a band like this." And so I just met some cats who were like really into that, and like, "Yo, just." I was like, "How do I do this?" And they're like, "Just be loud and mad." And I was like, "I can definitely do that."
Yeah. So, you know the band A Plea for Purging?
Yeah, those are the homies.
Yeah, so they played at the Channel in Greenville a little while ago, and after that night, you actually got married there.
Yep,
Is that correct? Could you tell
that's
me
very true.
what made you guys want to get married at that venue? I don't think that venue is a thing anymore, is it?
It's not. It's like
No.
a comedy club now.
Okay.
That venue is back then. It was like one of the only spots to really play around here. We
Yeah.
had a we had a spot called the Hangar, which was the punk squat, where like I mean, anybody could play there, but there's no
Mhm.
real expectation.
Right.
You didn't know if the PA was going to work or any of that.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there was the Channel, and then when the Channel closed down, we made our own DIY spot called Sweet Eight that ran for like 18 months almost,
Okay.
and that was kind of the spot for a while for Greenville.
Yeah.
But the Channel, the reason we did that was just because we knew the owner at the time. We were in good. We kind of got a discount on that, so we
Are
just
you
tried
guys
to make the
also living
best
in
of it.
Greenville now?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What part?
I live. Everybody lives pretty close to downtown. Most of us are down like on the Cherrydale end or the West End, which the rich folks call West Village now.
Yeah. So what made you guys want to get married at the Channel? Was there any specific reason, or are you just like this is a good spot?
We actually got married at a pretty place up on the mountain, like
Okay.
overlooking like it's like an outdoor chapel. We got married up there, and then we had the reception at the Channel because that was
Okay.
like the only place we really knew that was gonna like I don't know. That's I mean, man. Oh, that's right. Because I used to go to church at a house church that met at the Channel, and it just kind of rolled into that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why.
Um, well, I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna ask you some South Carolina trivia questions. I'm gonna ask you five.
Oh, let's go,
They're
let's
gonna
go, let's go.
they're gonna get easier and then they're gonna get harder. The final one you might know, you might not. We'll see. I'm gonna start you off with what is the state capital of South Carolina?
Columbia, South Carolina, man.
Here we go. What's the state nickname?
Oh man, Palmetto State.
There you go. It's called the Palmetto State because of his mass
Oh,
amount of sabal palmetto trees.
mhm.
Bet you didn't know that,
That
did
were
you?
also used to fortify the fortresses during the Revolutionary War because they repelled cannonballs.
You a big history guy?
Oh yeah,
It's awesome, dude. What's the largest beach in South Carolina?
I really hope it's not the Dirty Myrtle.
Unfortunately, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It's
yo.
60
All
miles
right, then,
long and
Myrtle.
it's not
Y'all got that one.
60 miles long. It's known as the Grand Stretch in the northeastern part of South Carolina.
Let's go.
Where did the name Columbia, where did it get its name?
I don't know. You got to hit me with that one. I don't know about that one.
It was from Christopher Columbus. It's named after Christopher Columbus. I bet you
They
knew that.
would.
You could have figured
Nah.
that one out. You knew that.
I didn't know that, but you know what? And now I do know. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna finish you off here. What's the name of South Carolina's state flower?
Yellow Jasmine.
Yes, sir. The yellow. It's actually pronounced the yellow jessamine. If you want to get
Yeah, it's the
real,
jessamine.
real political with it. It's
Mm,
very poisonous and it can cause skin irritation if touched, and if ingested, it can lead to fatality.
dang.
So make sure
Don't
you're,
eat that.
make sure you're going and putting that in all your meals.
Definitely, I'll cook that up with all my tacos every time.
What's your favorite dish to cook? Because you before when I messaged you, I was like, I'm getting ready, and you were like, yeah, cooking up some tacos real quick.
I love making tacos. I like making Crunchwrap Supremes at the house.
Okay.
But my favorite thing to cook is I make pizza like at the house, like
Oh,
throwing dough and everything. I used to run a pizza shop, so I love making
oh
pizza.
yeah. Dude, I couldn't tell you anything I could bake. I can make me some frozen cookies. That's about it.
Hey man, that's something.
Maybe a frozen pizza. If it's frozen, I got you, but I can't make anything.
Yeah, that works out. Hey boy,
I'm gonna just. Oh,
you're fine.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I got a Labradoodle and a Min Pin Dotson.
Okay. Big dogs?
Yeah, one big boy, one little boy.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up here. I really appreciate you talking with me. This has been fun. Unfortunately, the boys might be upset that they couldn't make it, but shout out to them. Shout out to everybody.
They all send their love, man. They say they appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I send love to you guys as well. I really appreciate you being on here, and we'll talk soon. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too.